You are now tuned in to the Chaotic Kulture Podcast.
It's the KKP on your mother flipping airways. Hear the name ringing through the halls and the stairways. You were listening to a pod that can segue. All the latest topics guaranteed to fill your headspace. It's a safe place to voice your opinion. Say what you feel just like you're a kid again. Ked the pro and friends black as obsidian. Chaotic culture, that's the world we living in. So what's the word?
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of the Khaotic Culture Podcast about what chaos rules and black culture is supreme. The Khaotic Culture Podcast, of course, is brought to you by patreon.com/Khaotic Culture Pod. Please be sure, of course, that you subscribe to the Patreon to get bonus episodes, early episodes content, and, of course, to help keep the lights on. Once again, we appreciate all of your support. This podcast will deep dive into modern black culture and how millennials and Gen Z can navigate the crazy parts from finances, black business highlights, black professionals, community content creators, homeownership, HBCU, sports, anime, wrestling, and especially black music. If it encompasses black culture, of course, we are going to cover it live from... I'm in a different area code this time, but live from the DMV. I am the host and the creator of the Khaotic Culture Podcast. This is your boy Ked the Pro, aka the Calculated Millennial, aka the Encore presentation. Oh, did it play?
Can I get an encore? Do you want more?
All right, aka your favorite toxic adjacent king, Ked the Polo, Ked the Closer, all that good stuff. 843 is me. Somewhere in the DMV is where I'm at right now. Always chaotic, never toxic most days. I'm back again once again with your favorite black culture highlights of black culture shenanigans. It's been 2 weeks, guys. Also because I've been in the middle of a move. You already know that I don't, no longer work for a certain company, but we'll get to that when we get there. Today, of course, I've got one of my co-hosts here, of course, the instant negator himself all the way out in Texas, Scuba Steve. Go ahead and do your intro, sir.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is I, Skylar's dad or whatever, aka the instant negator, aka don't call me Gambit because I can never be your X-Man. How is everyone?
Well, man, I'm good. Or, as good as I can get, man. I'm blessed and highly favored. I am, again, I cannot disclose where I'm at, but, I'm just thankful that I have, loving family, and I'm grateful and will forever be grateful for them and to them to this day. And I'm just, just trying to find a way to, I won't say try to find a way to survive, just trying to find a way to make a living for real, man. It's hard out in these streets. That kind of is a good segue into our mental health takeaway, because right now all I'm doing is just dashing. I did get whatever money was left from me from that other company, so right now I'm just trying to dash, trying to earn some little pocket change and whatnot till I can find another job. I do got a couple interviews coming up, so I'm praying for the best on that. But yeah, it's just life. And also, I know that I, hit you up about that job, Steve, but I never did make that phone call. I need to make that phone call and find out what's going on, because if I'm not going to have a job, I at least need to be doing something other than just door dashing all day. But either way, I'm still here. You already know I finally got at least my equipment working for the most part. My actual good mic is in storage. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring that with me, so of course I got the dingy Amazon mic. But we still try to make a living, still trying to do things, and I'm just glad that we are able to bring you guys another podcast episode after a mini hiatus. So, Scuba Steve, how you been, man?
Man, I've been good. Working, tired, but other than that, I've been really good. Taking breaks here and there. I have to go to court tomorrow because my mother was in a car wreck. Like 3 or 4 years ago. They wanted us to testify and say, she was more limber 3 or 4 years ago than she was now, and they're just now trying to get her a settlement, basically.
That's crazy.
So, got to go to court and do that. So, but other than that, that's tomorrow noon, so it'll be good. Other than that, though, like I've just been working, man. That's it.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Definitely praying for you and your moms as far as that court date is concerned. That is kind of crazy that it's been this long that y'all are now trying to finally get a settlement. Like, I don't know what the court system looks like in Texas, but phew, that just sounds like it's a mess.
She got into a wreck in May 2023,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what she's going to court for. But then she got into a huge car wreck January 2024,
Ooh.
and so the company right now that we're going through was in May. They're basically like saying, "Oh no, all of those injuries must have been from the big wreck in January." And she's like, "No." She was like, "I got documents showing like this is where all this stuff started."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pretty much it was just a long process, and now we're going to trial for it.
I feel it. That is, uh, yeah, that definitely sounds like a mess, but definitely hope and prayers to your mom that everything will be settled and that y'all are able to, move through it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here's what it is, though.
Yep. Yep. I wanted to tell a quick story before we actually get into today's topic. Speaking of DoorDash, man, as someone who has had to humble himself, coming from, I wouldn't say a corporate job, but someone who was getting like quote unquote corporate pay and then having to actually do DoorDash. And I knew for a fact that like when you deliver stuff, especially food or items and whatnot, you always got to be careful of a couple things. One, be careful of people, and then two, be careful of nature/animals. Today was one of those days where I had a funny run-in with an animal. My DoorDash had told me to pick up from Burger King, which I did. I went to the person's house. House looked like it was I ain't gonna say it was run down, but it looked like I almost wanted to say like, dang, is this a bando? Okay. Well, the instructions told me, leave the order at the door. So I'm like, all right, cool. As I'm walking up the driveway and into the walkway, I see two cats. Now, first and foremost, I'm not a big cat person, but I already know like most cats when they see humans, the first thing they're gonna do is run. One of them ran, but that other one, boy, when I tell you they got up on their hind legs, arched their back, that hair was standing up on end. I'm like, oh, they not moving.
Yeah, please don't.
I'm like, this cat standing this ground. I tried to like flinch at it. I tried to make myself big and whatnot. That thing was not moving. It just arched back, looking at me. I'm like, oh yeah, this. I don't know if they got kittens or if they just protecting their ground. I don't know, but I ain't trying to mess with no cat because I don't know if this thing is a stray or if it belongs to this person. And like I was trying to figure out a way to leave the food because I'm just like, dang, I can't really leave it on the doorstep because the cat guarding the daggone doorstep. So you're not just gonna let me put the food on the doormat? Nope, still arched back, still staring at me, not making a sound. I'm like, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I put the Burger King food right in front of. It looks like a covered motorcycle. I think they had. I put it right there, and I took a picture. And DoorDash tried to tell me like, "Hey, you got to retake it and make sure that the food is in the doorway." I said, "Nah, I just clicked done and I took off." I'm like, I'm not trying to get in no fight with no stray cat. And if it's not a stray, I'm still not trying to get in a fight with a cat because I do not need no scars or nothing hissing at me. I do not get in fight with animals. I let them be because I don't know
Yeah,
if they just got rabies or not. I'm not trying to find out.
yeah, I would definitely be like, nah.
Yeah. So that was my interesting run in for today. But other than that, that's me, y'all. First and foremost, a big shout out to BlerD9. We wanted to get them a big shout out. I normally shout them out at the end of the podcast, but I wanted to shout them out at the beginning. There was a little discussion in that chat about what was going on in music. So speaking of, this is a good segue to just go ahead and talk about this, guys, and why we're here. Normally, I would maybe drop a bonus episode about this, but I said, hey, you know what? Why not? That's a hot topic. Let's go ahead and discuss these not one, not two, but three albums that Drake dropped. Honestly, we're only going to talk about one, and that's Iceman, because I've not listened to Habibti, and I've gotten like maybe partially through Maid of Honor, and I'll at least give my insight on that a little later. But we got to talk about Iceman real quick. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was whatever. It was an album.
It was an album. That's the best way that I can put this. We'll get into more depth, guys. I just wanted to start off by saying this album is mad okay.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's better than his other albums though, or his most
oh
recent.
yeah, I guess it's for me, it's the way that people were hyping it up to, that it'll be the best thing ever. I'm like, it's better than For All the Dogs. It might be better than Certified Lover Boy, but that's not saying much.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, this album is just mad okay, and we'll go through track by track and how we felt. I did not give Drake any of my streams. I promise I'm not a Drake hater. I just don't care anymore. Like I used to be a Drake fan, yo, and then after Scorpion, it's just kind of been like, dude, what are we doing? Like this, I'm not amused anymore. I don't get excited for Drake anymore. So, and I said this on the Instagram page for Chaotic Culture Pod. I just said I just got to come to the conclusion that Drake don't make music for me anymore. Like I've outgrown the music that he makes, and it would be one thing like if the artist grows with the music. Like I would like to hear some more introspective things, and I heard a little bit throughout the album, but not enough to make me care. It seemed more, about his gripes with his feuds and his beefs than about anything personal, for real, except for one track, which was the beginning track. But that being said, yeah, this was just mad okay. But we'll go track by track and we'll give a score in a minute. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. So if you love Drake and you are expecting this to be, all praise and that we are like, oh, we love Drake, we are, OVO for life or OVO stands, this is not the podcast for you. If you are expecting us to like absolutely dump on it, like like Kendrick fan, I mean I'm a Kendrick fan, but if you're expecting us to absolutely dump on it, you might be you might get a little bit of that. You ain't gonna get it like throughout the entire thing, but we are trying to be as objective as possible here. Like we are not here to sit here and join on the Drake hate train. We just want to give our honest opinions and let people know how we feel, because how I feel is just kind of like it's there, but somebody else might feel the same way, somebody else might feel different. Of course, if you feel different, feel free to let us know. But anyway, first and foremost, Steve, I just wanted to ask you, how did you feel about, hearing that Drake wasn't dropping, but not one, not two, but three albums that night?
I didn't know. I didn't know until the next day, and I was listening to the Iceman, whatever, and then I started seeing people posting that there was other albums, and I was like, I'm not sticking around for two more albums. I was all like, and then when I found out that like one is more like singy, which that's what I liked about Iceman the most, was that he wasn't singing.
Right.
I don't really care for that type of Drake. So I just was like, right. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So if that one is the singing Drake, he can keep that one over there for the people that care for that content. I just didn't, so I just was like, nah, I'm good. And then I saw that little snippet with the Sexy Red song, and I was like, that's on the other album. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I was like, oh, I'm good. I don't understand. Like, I work really, really hard. Really, really hard. And I'm not famous, and Sexy Red is, and that bothers me. That means I'm not working hard enough. I'm not working hard enough. So
yeah, man, it's just anytime that I hear Sexy Red, I'm just sitting here like, what? I mean, outside of the sex appeal, obviously, I'm like, yo, how is it that she got to be a rapper and we sitting at here like working our behinds off for corporate America? I'm like, I just need to find out what is the secret.
Yeah, who? It's not about what you know; it's about who you know.
And clearly,
she knows somebody.
Yeah, she clearly knew somebody, and I think she knew how to make, songs that would catch people's ears, like Pound Town, like just that's the first song I ever heard about Sexy Red. So just the idea of the song was just like, oh, okay, so she raps for, sex / shock value, and yeah, if you want to call it that. But anyway, it is what it is. I had found out the day that Iceman had dropped. I didn't watch the stream. Obviously, I've not watched any of the Iceman streams. I'm fortunate to say that I've not watched any of them, and if I have, they were in clips from somebody who was might have been posting about it. I don't know, but either way, I didn't watch any of the streams. Apparently, the entire Iceman episode 4 stream was just the Iceman album itself. But when he dropped it, of course, that's when he made the announcement. And as I'm like scrolling through Twitter, getting ready to actually like turn in for the night because I'm tired, I see him like, oh, he's dropping two more albums. Goodness gracious.
It's a lot
How
of music.
Yeah, it's a lot of music, and it's just like ain't nobody gonna be able to let the music sink in. And I think that was purposeful because it just feels like, okay, Drake, you flooding the zone right now, bro. You want to find a way to flood the music scene with all this music that you're dropping. That's 43 tracks between 3 albums. And me personally, I'm trying to figure out, there's got to be like an actual motive behind it. This isn't just a, oh, this is for the fans kind of thing. This feels like purposeful. Like I'm trying to really get that next hit so I can beat Michael Jackson's record. That's kind of what it sounds like.
I
And that
think. I mean, I think he was trying to get out that record deal.
that too. I thought about like, well, this could also be a reason for him to get out the record deal.
Mm.
He's really trying to get out of UNG, which I mean is that's fine too. Like if you feel as though that you want to be independent of UNG, especially with all the litigation that you got going on, then that's perfectly fine too. I'm not judging him based off that. It just felt like, okay, and I had warned myself on Twitter. I'm like, with Drake dropping this much music, based on my history of listening to Drake's music, I feel as though this music is going to be bloated, and that it just is not going to hit, and that the music is going to be diluted. And I'm hoping that I'm wrong. And unfortunately, I was not wrong. So, at least based on what I've heard on so far now, I could have a different opinion about Maid of Honor. I could have a different opinion about Habibti. But as far as Iceman is concerned, um, just some initial thoughts from me before I like go track by track. I do like that Drake is rapping in most of this album.
Hmm.
I do like that. I'm like, okay, I like rapping Drake. Even some of the rhyme schemes, even his, normal rhyme schemes that he does and that he's good at, I'm like, okay, I can get used to that. That's fine, whatever. I do hear that, Drake is rapping, but what is he necessarily rapping about? It's the same things that he always raps about. That was number one. I'm like, okay, the material is repetitive. It's the same things that I'm hearing in previous albums. It's about, the your gang. It's about of course shooting at your ops. A lot more of shooting at your ops through this album. This is, about how you, I guess, are feeling in these moments and whatnot. And I can go into more detail, but basically, it just felt repetitive from all the previous albums that we had heard from recently. There's nothing new under the sun for Drake going on in his life outside of how he's feeling after the battle. And Steve, you had made a point in our chat earlier, just like, yeah, he was part of the battle. Of course, we expect him to say something. Like he was literally engaged in the biggest rap battle in the last 20 years. So naturally, of course, he's going to say something. And I expected that. What I didn't expect was the entire album to be like that.
Yeah,
And
that's dragging it.
yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I expect you to, get your shit off like Kendrick. Cool, fine, whatever. He's not going to engage anymore. He's already proved his point. I expected you to, take a couple shots over at ASAP's way. That's fine. But then you don't just have smoke for ASAP and Kendrick. You got smoke for Jay-Z, apparently. You got smoke for LeBron, Kawhi, and DeMar DeRozan. You got smoke for DJ Khaled. Uh, there's just a lot going on. So this might be a hot take, but basically, Iceman is blood in my eye, but instead of Ja Rule is Drake.
Yeah,
That's how I felt.
yeah. Um, one of the craziest things that he said to me was, I mean, he said to me, one of the things he said on the album to me was when he was like, I'll never, he said, I always have love for Cole, but I'll never forgive him for backing out. But he said it on a song with Future, who Future was the one that kind of in a sense started the whole beef thing with the like that thing. And I'm like, so you mad at all of these other people for doing shit with Kendrick? DeMar DeRozan, all these people that was on stage, you was mad at all of those people. But you don't have a problem with Future, who was like that was on Future's album. That was, I don't understand what the problem is. You mad at them, these people that had nothing to do with it. You mad at J. Cole for dissing and then deciding to take it back. That had nothing to do with you in general either. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like he dissed Drake or nothing like he didn't even like. What are you mad at J. Cole for?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess for him, I think he said it throughout one of those songs that he was just like, he never, I don't know if it was Make Them Pay or if it was Make Them Remember, but he did Make Them Pay, where he was just like, I was waiting for that. J. Cole had never called him, I guess, so he's waiting for that phone call. And I'm like, I kind of get that, but
what do I got to call you for?
Yeah, it's just like
and like I said, it's the same thing with like DeMar DeRozan played basketball. What are you mad at him about?
Yeah, he's mad because DeMar DeRozan was actually in the video and whatnot, and I'm just like, I guess he felt that he was betrayed because DeMar DeRozan was from Compton and was part of the video because he was mentioned by Kendrick. So it was just like, I kind of get why you might be upset at DeMar for being a part of the video, but for one, why are you mad at Kawhi? What the hell Kawhi had to do with all of this? Kawhi from LA too, but
I think Kawhi was at the pop out, but I don't even think he got on stage. I think he was just in the audience.
Yeah,
I mean, you mad at these people for that, but you cool with Future. That doesn't make sense to me. That's what I'm getting at. It ain't got nothing to do with Cole, really. It's just you mad at all these other people and you forgave Future.
Yeah, that's my thing as well. I'm like, you forgave Future, but not the other people. And here's the crazy part. Like, as you said, without Future, you don't get like that. You don't get two albums that are like, well, one really that are coming at you. Like, I just had to, and this is a person who said this on Threads. They were trying to spin it in a way. They did some whataboutism. Is like, okay, why was K-Dot on tracks with Cardi? I'm like, well, Cardi didn't diss Dot, nor did he have anybody on the album that dissed Dot. So I don't know. It doesn't correlate. Meanwhile, Future may not have directly dissed Drake as far as I know or as far as we know. However, one, Metro has a problem with Drake. Kendrick clearly, took the biggest shot. ASAP took a shot. The Weeknd took a shot. So
and they all did it on his album.
Exactly. On his album. So I'm like, if Drake, outside of Kendrick, the person that you should have the biggest problem with is Future. But
you got a problem with everybody else because they were at the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's just fucking stupid. Like you mad at me because a song that's popular that blew up. I don't give a fuck that it is talking about you in a bad manner and stuff like that. He's got ears and eyes. He got ears and he's got eyes. He saw what that song did. Mm-hmm. Of course, I'm going to the fucking pop out. like unless it's like my friend. So I can understand why he might be mad at LeBron because he felt like they were friends to that nature or to that extent. But like, bro, like that would be like some random person from Anti-Twitter that we cool with. Like we cool with everybody, but if somebody else did something big, bro, like we all cool, but we ain't besties in this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Like nigga, I can go to the show. Because I'm a grown man. I'm gonna stand on whatever I do. And if that's the case, to your point, you obligated to stand on whatever you decide to do, on how you decide to handle it. But also letting Future, and then naming the song "Ran Back to Atlanta." It's like, come on, bro.
Cognitive dissonance.
It's so hurt, bro. Like at this point, it's like,
yeah.
Like everybody kept on talking about how like Kendrick was milking the beef and all this other stuff. Bro, Ran Back to Atlanta is the name of a song. He had a couple of other songs talking about the big three and all this other stuff. Now, are we going to say that Drake is milking it too? Or are we just going to be like one-sided with it?
Yeah, nah, it's clearly like to be honest, I wouldn't even say. I mean, well, you could say Kendrick might have been milking it a little bit because I mean he performed the song on tour, but that song was literally the hottest song of 2024. So of
Mm.
course he was going to perform it at his tour. Like, what did we expect? That being said, outside of performing it, Kendrick hadn't said nothing. And you could make the arguments that okay, well maybe the fans might be milking it a little bit, but Drake's not helping in any sense. One with this album, but also the lawsuit. So that's the other thing. Like,
Well, I mean, to everybody else's point on that shit, Kendrick decided after the beef, after the battle, he got to get his shit off on GNX. Cool. J.
mhm,
Cole did his thing on Fall Off, got to get his shit off a little bit. Cool. So I don't mind Drake talking about it again a little bit.
a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? The issue is on GNX, he talked about it maybe, on a couple songs, but he still had an album. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, and it's an album. The Fall Off. He talked about it a little bit, but he still made a fucking album.
Right.
Drake made this whole thing about the beef, and it's like, bro, like we were hoping that we were gonna get more. And I mean, I guess we did because we got the other shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not maybe, what I'm saying, maybe I'm being biased by not listening to it. I'm giving a short opinion. But like, yo, that's nuts to make this whole Iceman thing about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, to make a whole album full of diss songs, bro. I just don't think that. I don't think that that was the right answer. But again, if you talk to his fans and let his fans tell it, they say this is the best thing ever, and that this is the greatest Drake album ever told. Not the reasonable Drake fans. I'm talking like the super stands that Drake can do no wrong stands.
And maybe he felt like, sorry to cut you off, but maybe he felt like I should make a whole album dissing because Metro and Future did a whole album dissing. So maybe he felt like I should make a whole album dissing them.
Well, maybe if I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm trying to justify it.
Yeah. I get the route that you took. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I don't agree with it because at the end of the day, yeah, they made a whole album about you dissing, but still, what real damage did that entire album do to you for real, outside of one track? Not much, really. It's Kendrick dropping them 4 songs on your head top that really did the most damage. That being said, yeah, I was hoping that Drake would not go the Ja Rule route. Like, don't give me an album full of diss tracks. You can have a couple of diss tracks here and there. That's fine. If you got to shoot at your ops, do what it do. But the entire album, bro, like this, I just don't get it, man. Like, not even Jay and Nas spent an entire album shooting at each other, bro. Like, you get maybe 1 or 2 tracks, and that's all that you get.
Because if you're supposed to be unbothered or, feel like you're unbothered, show that you're unbothered.
Exactly. This album just showed that you were completely bothered.
Yeah.
From track 1 all the way to track 18. Like, you were bothered completely. And I mean, he even admitted it himself that like that July was the worst that he's ever felt. And I'm like, well, at least he admitted that he took a L.
Make a song and make it vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and honestly and truthfully, with it being May right now too, it's like you right here next to the summertime, bro. You could have gave us a bunch of summertime anthems, slaps, things like that, and I didn't hear one, but the radio will determine that because they'll find a song and then they'll play it.
Yeah, if I had to guess on which one, at least in Iceman, because you could probably find a couple of songs on Maid of Honor that you can probably throw on, like even that Cheetah Print song, which yes, I did listen to through shout out to Therapy. I actually listened to all of Iceman and part of Maid of Honor through Therapy, so shout out to Derek in the Derps. He's a very funny guy. Yeah, I had heard Cheetah Print and I'm like, this started out great, and then Sexy Red, I don't know. She completely took, she completely took an axe to Cha Cha Slide and started butchering it, and I'm just sitting there like, oh
I,
Lord Jesus,
I'm not even gonna waste my time.
oh my God. But and all that being said, I think out of all of the tracks that are on Iceman, I would say Shebang would probably be the one that might get played in the club just because of the rhythm. Da 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 shebang, da 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 da. But that's just what I'm feeling. Um, but nothing else really sticks as far as what can be played in the club for real, for real. Like the Make Them tracks, you're definitely not gonna play in the club because those are the tracks where Drake gets quote unquote introspective. Um, the Burning Bridges is terrible. You might maybe Janice STFU might get played in the club.
Mhm.
I don't personally like that song. Like I can tell you that's just a no for me, but apparently a lot of the Drake fans like it, and probably some of the kids might like it. That's fine. Maybe Whisper My Name, but those are the only ones I can think of. And maybe Too Hard for the Radio, but Drake's attempt at doing a Bay Area beat, and I'll get to more on that later. But just the attempt, I'm like, okay, I can dig it. I
Yeah,
don't hate the song,
I
but
mean,
yeah, it just yeah, I don't know if it'll move the way that I thought it should move, because when I looked at like some of the numbers for the track, it's not performing as well as the other ones. So I'm like, oh well, maybe his audience really didn't want him to do a West Coast beat, but
I thought that it was a great. I thought it was a great song, not great song, a good song.
hmm
The issue is the internet beat them to it, and then they start making fun of it and did the Fresh Prince of Bel Air background beat to it, and then I think that took away some of the burn from it.
yeah,
So I think that kind of is going to take a toll on it. That's one thing that sucks though. The internet, bro. Like if they decide to start trolling you, they forget about the main objective, which is music.
objective, yep,
Because I mean, they did that shit. I know this is off topic, but with Jack Harlow, I like that album.
hmm
But as soon as he fucking taking pictures with that hat on and the memes start coming in, it was it was over.
raps, bro.
It was over. Like the album is not bad. It's a smooth kind of jazzy R&B type feel or whatever. But once the memes took off,
Yeah.
lost the plot.
They absolutely did. And honestly, the Monica album was okay to me. I was like, would I ever revisit it again? No, but I do like the sound. Like this might be something that you play in the background when you're cleaning, or
Yep,
maybe just
good cleanup music.
yeah, just something that you can just do work to for real, for real. But as you say, yeah, once the memes, once the memes, it's like, nah, bro, this about to be a flop. But in any case, let's go. Let's try to go track by track. How did you feel about "Make Them Cry," the opener?
It was a Drake intro. Drake does pretty decently at intros.
hmm
Um, this one wasn't as epic as I thought it would be. I don't know why, but I'm thinking like, okay, this the way that he did this rollout and stuff like that. I'm thinking this intro should be like over my dead body level intro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking it's gonna be something like that. And it was just an all right intro. It wasn't bad. But yeah, starting off, I was all like, okay, well, at least he rapping, and it was just. I also something that I've noticed about Drake, and it might just be me, but I feel like Drake used to rap and have a different type of delivery, and
he
now
did.
I feel like he's just kind of talking.
hmm
Like it just seemed like he just talking and he's rhyming the words. It don't feel like he's rapping like how he used to. There's something weird about it. I don't know, and that might just be my ear or whatever that I'm tripping on. But I felt like it was just very monotonish. I don't know. It was kind of bland.
No, you're not the only one, bro. For me, I think it's just like the hunger is gone. I don't hear the hunger like when I listen to intros like Tuscan Leather off of Nothing Was the Same. I hear like the hunger still.
Yeah,
in his voice on trying that, like, because this, in my opinion, nothing was the same was his actual magnum opus. That was his crown. Not, Take Care ended up being more of his crowning achievement, but I thought that as far as rapping Drake, that was his crowning achievement. That was as close to introspective and rapping Drake that we gonna get. But when you can hear that hunger in his rhyme scheme, like he is delivering on Tuscan Leather. He is delivering throughout that entire album. But yeah, for this, it just feels like he's going through the motions again.
yeah. And he used to have like a swag and like a cockiness about him, and it just feel like his delivery is just not there. I mean, he's still. I think it was more so like a cockiness, but in a cool way. But now it's
Hmm.
more of an arrogance, like
Arrogant.
just yeah, and it come off assholeish.
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I could be nitpicking and just doing too much, but I just really feel like, in my opinion, that he just is something missing from what he used to like have. And like you
Yeah.
said, it could be because he's been at the top so long, he just don't got it like how he used. He don't have to care no more. The way
Hmm.
he used to rap like the Rims do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep. Yep, absolutely. I think that for me, Make Them Cry was a decent intro. It was really good. It lost a lot of its luster for me just because like when I start listening to the lyrics and start picking up on things that he's saying, some of this starts to like really make me question once again Drake the person. Um, because the cognitive dissonance within this track is crazy. Like for one, you in the track about your dad is battling cancer. Y'all are going through stages, and then I see a clip about your dad saying that he doesn't have cancer anymore, that his cancer is in remission. Which thank God that it is. But I'm just like, Drake, how long ago did you write this? Because are you trying to like garner sympathy points with this? And the moment that thought popped into my head, I said Euphoria.
yeah,
Yep.
bro, you're doing anything at this point.
Right. Um, of course, the one part where it says that you can't take your therapist seriously because she's too attractive. I'm like, okay, Drake, like, what are we doing here, bro? Come
Too.
on, bro, you almost 40. Like this can't be your thought process. And then, but it went back to a previous line where he said he hates the words "dig deep," and I'm just like, yeah, it sounds like this track is saying, okay, y'all are telling me to get therapy and to dig deep and be introspective about my life, and there are some things that are bothering me, but I'm just going to choose violence. This album, like that's pretty much what it came off as, and sure enough, the rest of the album was just like that.
Mhm.
Dust, Dust was actually a good follow up. I do like the intro where he's singing to the ladies and he's apologizing like, "Hey, I'm gonna get back to making songs for y'all, but I got some business to handle first." And
I'm not mad at that.
yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. I'm definitely not mad at the beat switch for that because I'm like, okay, you know what? He was giving us a little taste, and he's like, okay, no, here go the real shit. One thing that again, cognitive dissonance because you say that uh you don't remember one word from your raps. I'm like, Drake, if that's aimed at Kendrick, bro, the hypocrisy because this entire album is you addressing lines that Kendrick said to you, so you clearly remember words from his raps.
Yeah, I mean, even in the Heart Part Six, he's talking about different things that Kendrick said on Mr. Morale. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, and then naming the song "The Heart Part Six" means you know something.
Yeah,
So
I'm willing to like. I no Drake, despite popular belief and whatever his fans may say, I know Drake is was a fan of Kendrick, bro. He listened to this nigga. I
he's
know
not,
he did.
and just even just making it seem like you're too big to listen to somebody else's music and stuff like that. Even on push-ups, one of the opening line is, "I could never be nobody number one fan."
Mm-hmm.
That's what Future was saying on "We Don't Trust You." He was like,
Trust you.
"You a nigga number one fan," like you know what I'm saying. Like so, he listens to people in general to make it seem like he's too big of an artist to not do it. That's just not true. Jay Z
Yep.
is listening to these niggas. So if Jay
Mm-hmm.
Z, the biggest artist ever, is listening to niggas, you are too, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and that's okay. But you know what I'm saying? It's music. It's diss tracks, so you know there's line involved in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's just part of the game.
It's part of the game, man.
If somebody gonna diss you, they gonna lie about some shit. J. Cole said that he never really liked none of Kendrick's album in his diss track, and it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just lies.
Yeah. The next track, "Whisper My Name." Obviously, the theme of the song is like, "Hey, don't say my name too loudly and whatnot, unless you're prepared to deal with the consequences." More tough guy talk, more tough Drake talk. I really don't. For me, I can't take this track seriously, is because you talk about whispering your name, but yet the one person that said your name out loud, you don't want to smoke with. So I'ma just.
There's been Common, there's been Pusha T, and there's been Kendrick. There's people that ain't whispering shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah. So it is what it is. Regardless of how people feel about those battles, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part, Drake lost those. You know what I'm saying? Then you had other people that Drake has been dissed a million times. You know, he still honestly and truthfully gets, even though he has all the court stuff going on, lyrically from other rappers, he still gets respect. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that he didn't back out of a battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I will always give Drake respect for, which he actually says that and make them pay. He was just like, man, you know, I'd rather choose death than submission. And unfortunately, and I don't mean to shoot at Cole, but you know, Cole chose to submit and back out. And Drake just decided to choose death and go out in your own blaze of glory. You know, you lost, you died, but at least you went out on your terms.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying I'm not mad at that at all, and I'm
a
Cole fan. That shit it's just not a good look, and it still hasn't been a good look. If honestly and truthfully, if Drake don't do the suing stuff, I think he would be fine right now.
Yeah, he would.
His fan base is, you know what I'm saying, super stands. He can do nothing wrong, and then you know what I'm saying, like he would just keep on going. Like ain't shit going on, but it's the suing thing that makes the records bigger than what it is.
Exactly. I'm gonna skip to the next song, Janice, STFU.
I listened to it a couple times just because of the fucking. Shout out to Janice. Shout out to Janice. I was fucking with Janice. Shout out to the real Janice that we know. I did that to fuck with her a few times. So I actually listened to this song a couple of times.
I listened to it a couple of times. I did like that part because it reminded me of what was that? Was it from The Sopranos? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I did like that clip. I don't like the chorus and I don't like the auto-tune. I'm gonna just be real.
Yeah.
It's probably catchy for the kids, but for me it's not doing nothing for me. And I just really just dislike when Drake does that auto-tune, and then he did it in such a low voice. It made me not really mess with the song. So I'm like, it's not for me. But so far between out of the 4 songs that we talked about, that's one that I liked. Well, 2 that I liked. I like To Make Them Cry. I like Dust. Whisper My Name is like, I almost want to like it, but I'm not there yet. And Janice STFU thought was funny, but it's not for me. Ran to Atlanta. Throw the whole song away.
Yeah. That
the concept is better than the song.
I've never. I'm gonna say something big, I guess. Now, I've never been like a Future guy. So as soon as I heard him, I was like, "Oh shit, Future's on here." And there's other people that love Future and his music. I've never thought that he was great, but the radio love him, and that's all that really be mattering. If you can get the machine behind you. But I've never thought Future was great. There's a couple of times where he's had a song where I was all like, "Oh shit, I like this," you know what I'm saying? But like, it's far and in between. And I'm not like a Future hater, you know what I'm saying? I'll check out every album just to see if I'm hearing something wrong, if my ears are broken, and I think they must be. But yeah, as soon as I heard Future, I was like, But and then I thought that was hilarious though. I ran to Atlanta. I was like, bro, the fact that you would name this song after a diss that you're suing is It's insane, bro. Like,
Yeah, that was Drake's best attempt at trying to troll, and I'm like, it would be one thing if the song is actually good. It's really not. I don't. I'm like you. Like, I'm not gonna say that I hate Future. I just I can only take him in like spots because there's some Future music that's great to me. Like we talking March Madness. Like March Madness will always be one of my favorite Future songs. Like I sing that all day, every day. Um, Fuck up some comments. Like that's one that I'll okay, yeah, cool. But a lot of Future stuff, especially like some of his more recent stuff outside of like that, I've just been like, it's just not me.
mm,
But that might be just because I I grew up on I grew up on Meathead and like early Future, like when he was like in his Pluto era, like that Future I liked. But then
mm.
like after a while, it just was like, okay, yeah, it's not for me anymore.
Yeah, and maybe I just don't know that. But I mean, and like I said, there's a couple of songs that I play, and I'd be like, oh, I like this, because there's sometimes where I feel like I can make out the words that he's saying, and he actually rhyming and going. But there's some other times where I'm just like, bro, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Mhm.
So, but yeah. So as soon as I heard that, and then just the title or whatever, I was just like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah, it's not, and even with the beat switch, I just like I'm just not feeling it for real. But between the gimmick of the song and this, and then I guess shout out to Molly Santana. I'm really not feeling her verse at all, but you know, Molly Santana, New Hannah, Montana. Molly Santana, New Hannah, Montana. That might be stuck in my head for a while, but I'm just okay, I'll check her out. One thing I will give Drake is that if he could find a good new act to get on a track with, I'll at least check out the music. I'm not biased here, but it's not for me. It's not for me. What's next? Shebang. Okay. The the one problem that I have with this song, uh, I do think that this could probably be the actual club song that they play in the club. Like just from the way that I've seen some of these TikToks dance to it. The one thing that got like crazy because I know Quavo was on here. Um, one of the lines is "Where does it go, my head?" and then you got Quavo shouting "Mama" in the background. That
Mama shit is just
yeah, that really kind of made me like go whoa, 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 like because that's too close to the thing with takeoff. It's like, yo, okay, wait a minute, hold on, y'all gotta chill. Y'all got to chill. But I know that, Quavo did it, I guess to respect, his nephew and whatnot, but it didn't connect the way that they thought it would. In fact, it kind of made me a little uneasy.
mm,
Just because the line, where does it go, my head, and then him shouting "mama," it's just like that's I do not need that imagery of takeoff getting shot. So um anyway, uh I do think that this is probably going this is the one that's probably going to end up in the club.
yeah.
I don't particularly care for it, but I get based off the rhythm of the song and based off the cadence that this one will end up being one of those club songs that Drake was looking for.
Um, I'll never know because I won't be in the club.
Well,
I rarely listen to the radio,
hmm
but it'll pop up eventually. I'm sure TikTok or something will take it over and it'll be blow up. Because like even like that last album, I had no idea what was going to be the song, and then Nokia ended up being the one that was the number one and blew up, and I was just like, I guess. So
Hey, no, I'll be the first to admit when I listened to some sexy songs for you, I actually said that No Kid would probably be the one to go on the radio. Like I even said that in my review. I said No Kid, okay, this if you're going to push a song, this is going to be the one. The other ones, I no. Especially because they were trying to give me a hug, some great song, and I'm just like, no, that song is garbage, y'all. Please don't let's not do this. But yeah, No Kid was the one. Um, Make them pay. I would. I would make them pay more credit, but some of the bars in here are just kind of corny. First and foremost, shout out to Overcast for the production, because Overcast did his thing with this production. Like, the beat is phenomenal. But yeah, just some of the punchlines on here just oh man, it just really I'm trying to I'm pulling up the lyrics right now just to give you guys an example. Like when Drake goes, and I face the way they pay me, but it hurts just like the Philly Eagles. Okay, Jalen Hurts line, place of the Eagles. Okay, yeah, that's kind of corny, but okay. LA love the sound. I can play a show for 1 million people. Don't be surprised. You see the whole YMNCA just like the Village people. And then the next one, these niggas measuring they dick size in millimeters. Why are we? And at that point, I just put my head down.
The thing is that's even crazier about that is that, one, I don't care about nobody else's dick size.
Exactly.
But even if we measure it in millimeters, once you change the thing, it's going to be the same size. So
Yeah.
if somebody got a 10-inch dick and you do millimeters, then it's going to just be more than someone else's.
Right.
I don't understand the logic
I
behind that line, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Here's another one. Since 2009, as I climbed the ladder, they envy me like Nevada, but it never mattered. Okay, envy me like Nevada. I get it, but you could have. I think it would have been better to, like, if you had said something like towards DJ Envy, that would have been even more clever. But instead, you used Nevada, and I guess just some of the bars on here just like absolutely cornball. There was one more. This one was actually a bar where he said, "Dog, I was Aiden Ross with streams before Aiden Ross had ever streamed." Okay, that one I liked. I get it. You know, you take a shot at Ross. I get it. The Palestine bar I'm gonna stay away from because, yeah, that ain't. Nah, I'm not about to open up that can of worms. But then he was like, shout out to Cherokee D and Sky Black because they was at my birthday when I was searching big booty Ebenezer G's.
Yeah.
Come on, Drake, bro. We can do better than this, man.
And apparently that I mean, even though I don't think he said that, but him saying their names, they both acknowledge that, you know, they messed with Drake and they think that it's corny that he brought their names up. And I'm just like, you didn't have to say that, ladies, because nobody knew that y'all smashed Drake. So y'all kind of did that to yourselves.
Right.
Like, but I don't know, man. Like, overall, I mean, I saw a lot of people saying Make Them Pay was cool. So I was just like, whatever.
It's like I said, it'd be all right, but just a lot of the bars in here are just absolutely corny and so surface level that you don't have to dig deep for any of these bars, for real. Some people like, oh, some of the shit goes over here. No, it doesn't, especially this song. But I do like the production. The production absolutely carried this, but Drake didn't do any favors with some of these bars in here. They was just like, come on, bro. I can already tell you, the next one, Burning Bridges, is terrible. Like, yeah, I put you niggas through the ringer. Yeah, you getting bodied by a singing nigga. Yeah, but a lot of people, I guess they liked the "Your baby mama ain't even post your single." Damn, where she at? Yeah, where she at? Because I guess it would be a shot at ASAP. Yeah, and I'm just like, bro. Well, for one, she didn't post a single, but she made a whole Twitter post about him dropping the album and commented on IG. Wow, I mean, you expect her to post a whole single, and then mind you, where's your baby mama yet, bro? Where's Sophie at? Did she post any of the Iceman or Habibti or Maid of Honor?
And then it's not my baby mama, that's my wife.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's his wife.
I don't, and it's just you can't pick and choose because, I mean, certain people just don't do that. Like, Jay-Z drops an album. You think Beyonce posts Jay-Z just dropped a new single? No. Like you just can't pick and choose with certain people on who you want to say, oh, your baby mama didn't, you know what I'm saying, share it, blah, blah, blah. Like, it just is what it is. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, she was there with me through the whole process while I made the fucking album. Like,
I'm saying.
but,
And you can be asking these questions like, where's she at? I'm like, bro, she about to have what, baby number 4 at this point.
at the hospital.
It's like, come on, bro. Like, let's be real. She is birthing his kids. That's where Rihanna is at, Drake. That's where she at.
I think it's always
but yeah.
But people, you know, a lot of people say don't bring in women and kids, and then of course, he always got to do that, bring in women and cross the line, shit like that.
Yeah, he mentioned in the chorus, I'm off of Quay and make my body tingle. You probably was off of Quay, little bro. The way that this song went.
That's the thing too. Like a lot of the things that you're mad about that Kendrick dissed you on, you are doubling down on.
Doubling down.
You got gambling problems, drug addiction problems, and now I'm off of Quaalude. Even if it's not true, it's not a good look for right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Future raps about pill popping and all that stuff, and he don't do none of that shit. Yeah. So I can understand, but nah. And honestly and truthfully, Future don't look like he do drugs. Drake's starting to look like he
does.
He does them. Yeah.
I will say National Treasure. I liked the first half. This is one of those songs that I had a problem with the beat switch because, like, when G switched to the second beat, I was like, nah, this don't work for me.
I know the beat switch thing got popular recently again and stuff like that, but every song don't fucking need one.
Every song does not need a beat switch.
There's a lot of songs that we're doing great. Like, I'm not a fan of Who the Fuck Is You? I love that song. I didn't like the beat switch. I didn't like that up-tempo thing on Cole's thing. And so same thing with this. I don't know. Everybody's doing it though right now. So
yeah. And of course he's taking more shots at DeMar DeRozan and taking more shots at Kendrick. I mean, it is what it is. But of course the one thing that caught my attention was this one line in the chorus. Chick signing is my kink, pushing out ink. I feel like a squid. I audibly laughed out loud on that. I'm like, bro, this part of your chorus, what the you pushing out ink? I feel like a squid. Like, what? Come on, dude. What are we talking about? And of course, this was the meme song where it says, ironic because the Iceman was a nice man. Now I'm hot and cold. And somebody on Twitter had predicted he would make that bar. So, this was one of those. I can't even like give it a full point, but it's like it's half a point, I guess. So what's that? What 2.5 songs now that I like?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yep. Okay.
Was a nice man. It's crazy.
Was a nice man. Oh my God, bruh. That terrible. Yeah, the next one, Bees on the Table. You can throw it on the garbage because what was the point of 21 Savage being there?
Yeah, wasted.
Bees on the table, bees on the table, and now how the tables have turned because a lot of these Drake fans was talking about some. Is this your goat? When Kendrick was doing the onomatopoeia / alliteration for peekaboo, and he's saying bing bop boom 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 bop bam. Now I can just be like, nigga, your goat on the chorus of one song just kept saying bees on the table over and over again.
Yeah.
But I can use that against them. But that being said, this song did not need to be on here, bro. I understand that he's talking about it like contract, and you don't want millions anymore. You're looking at the next stage up. So I get the purpose of the song, but at least have 21 spit an actual verse if you're gonna have him on there. And if not, just don't have him at all, or don't even include the song. It's very sleepy, very boring. Yeah. And this is when I really just was like, I don't like this song like at all. So
yeah, I don't like this song.
Yeah,
and then there was more proof of running to Atlanta because you got Atlanta all on this goddamn
Hmm.
album at this point.
Yep. All right. The next one was "What Do I Miss," so I can skip that one because we done heard it for the last year.
Mm.
Uh, the next one I guess I could talk about would be "Plot Twist." Uh, but before I do that, I just want to say that at least with "What Did I Miss," I would say that the beat was phenomenal on that. Like even the beat switch on that one is absolutely phenomenal. So I will give him credit for that.
Yeah.
Um, Plot Twist. I like the verses. I don't like the chorus.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? That's another thing. Drake used to be like the hook god.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to see hear so many songs where you don't like the hooks.
Yeah, I don't like the hook because he's too busy spelling out mob, October, and gang throughout that entire chorus, and I'm like, I just don't like it. And then I'm like, it's very odd that Drake won't give me at least a fire hook because most times he'll give me a great, as you said, he'll give you a great hook. In this album, I just kind of hard to find. I'm digging to find a good hook for real, for real. None of the hooks here are good. And maybe that was the purpose. Maybe he just wanted this like to be strictly like rap and nothing that's gonna. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's kind of hard because my doubt right now is just like up here at the moment. So um, but yeah, I do like the verses in here. Like he's actually spitting on this. Like I can't even be mad. Like so I'll give him plot twist. So that's 3.5. Outside of the chorus, I do like this one. Even though it's more tough talk, he's doing more tough Tony shit. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't have understanding that either. I don't even know when he made that switch to become this tough dude. I can't even remember what song, what
it
album it was where it just all of a sudden turned into this.
it had to be like I want to say it started with "If You're Reading This Is Too Late" that we started to get like a little more tough talk from him, but it wasn't completely there. I think where the flip actually happened was in Scorpion. I think it was Mob Ties. Sick of these niggas. I'm
Yeah.
sick of these- I think that was the song. Which oddly enough, there was he kind of bit that song too. But that's another
Mm.
conversation for another day. So, then is Too Hard for the Radio, which is direct homage to Mac Dre's Too Hard for the effing radio. Uh, I do like the beat. I do like that Drake paid homage to the Bay and Mac Dre because I mean that's he's done it before. That's someone that has inspired him. So I will give him that. Mac Dre, this is like a love letter for him, but at the same time, I also think that he was kind of troll. He was trying to troll Kendrick, especially in that second half where like I'm gonna show you what to do, little nigga. I'm gonna show you what to do, little boy. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, you're not going to out Cali Kendrick. You're not gonna out Cali Kendrick, bro.
Somebody that's from Cali. That don't make sense.
Exactly. Like niggas was calling this shit squabble down, and I just had to laugh out loud, bro. Squabble down. Someone has said not peekaboo, but Therapy said not peekaboo, but Pikachu. I'm like, why are we throwing Pokemon into this, bro? So also said Boo of Peak. It's a lot of stuff. There's also, of course, there's a shot at Mustard on here because of the. You said facts 900 million for the tracks, Rack City bitch. Yeah, we remember that. Damn, you should try and get back to that. I'm like, bro. This is again where cognitive dissonance comes into play. Because I'm like, bro, this nigga Mustard just got Grammys from Not Like Us and for TV Off. Like,
Yeah. He's just dissing people just to diss people.
just this
Like,
point, bro.
and it's like it's not sticking.
It's not.
It's not sticking. It's not. I don't know, but it is what it is. I mean, that's what he wanting to do right now. I'm really looking forward to getting past this.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's addressed it all, hopefully. Now that he's out of his record deal, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff, and he can just get to Drake. Hopefully,
Hopefully.
his next album that he puts out, whatever that may be, is the real music. Because they quote unquote, a lot of people say he been holding on to his real music until he get out of the record deal.
Y'all sure? Because it's not sounding like it. I'm hoping that maybe he'll surprise everybody to show like, hey, I actually put some effort into these, but the way that it sounded, I'm just like, bro, you just releasing music just to release music so you can get out of a record deal. That is, to me, that just doesn't make a lot of sense. And I don't even know if he's truly out of his deal with UMG yet. Did he post saying it?
He never said that, but they said that he got 3 albums. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 albums stuff. So,
But
which
I get it. So maybe this will satisfy the agreement that he had with UMG. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. If these 3 albums will satisfy that contract, or if he still, owes them $400 million. But either way, we'll find out, I guess, within the coming months. Um, how did you feel about Make Them Remember slash 1 a.m. in Albany?
um, so I remember when it leaked or whatever. I don't know if it was a leak or intentionally, or if that was something that just really leaked. I just thought it was whatever. A lot of
Hmm.
people were hype about it because it. I guess they were just ready because they were ready for Iceman to
Yeah.
drop. But me myself, I just thought it was another song that was like whatever. Um, where there's people that really loved it. Me myself personally, I just thought it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yeah.
all of the songs on here have just been cool to me or lackluster.
Hmm. Yeah, this is like, I understand that this is one where he actually like takes some direct shots at Dot, without saying his name, obviously. But
Of course,
um, yeah, you can kind of see that. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I think the one line that was kind of funny was he's like, and Muggsy Bogues done for once, even I'm a bit amazed. Yes, and we give the kid a raise. I just had to let him like the cognitive dissonance once again, because it's just like, bro. Okay, but Bugsy Bogues dunked on you. So
it's not even that. Like, bro, like you still talking about this nigga height? Like that
the
is
problem. I'm like, why are
that's
we?
still nanny boo boo shit.
Yeah,
Like,
kindergarten shit, bro. Like, oh, I'm tall and you're short. Nah, 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 nah. I'm just like, nigga,
bro.
I'm like, I don't know niggas who were like 5'5" and 5'4" who could take a 6 foot nigga down without blinking.
Like,
Like it just in a fist fight. Like this is it, it don't make no sense to me why he does that. But I guess short jokes are the easiest for him, so that's why he decided to go that route. But I'm just like this just remember that also Floyd Mayweather is also like what 5'4" himself. And that nigga is considered one of the pound for pound greats of all time. Um, who else is around K-Dot's height? I would say Tank Davis, but Tank Davis got some domestic violence issues, so I ain't even gonna go that route. But yeah, like there are plenty of folk who got hands, and clearly this short dude gave you the business, and you still can't get over it. But either way, I think I thought it was a little funny, but either Make Them Remember was just for me, it was just there. I'm like, okay, I see, you spitting, you talking, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Am I feeling anything? No, I'm not really like. This feels like stuff that a lot of these diss songs feel like this is stuff that I should have said 2 years ago, and I'm saying it now.
and even then, it still wouldn't have been enough.
Yeah, it really.
You still would have got hurt. Like,
Right, right, absolutely. Um, moving on, I'm not gonna give a point for him for that because I wasn't feeling anything about Make Them Remember. So far for me, it's Make Them Cry, Dust, half of National Treasure, so that's 2.5. Plot Twist, that's 3.5. Too Hard for the Radio, so that's 4.5. All right. Little Birdie, I understand that he was doing the Florida flow slash the Kodak Black flow. This shit sucks.
yeah, I actually didn't listen to. Like, I mean, I was still listening to it. It was still playing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that it was still playing, but at this point, I'm checked out.
You checked out. Yep.
Yeah, I'm checked out. That was it for me.
Yeah, I had to like again because the person who I was listening through, they checked out on this song as well. So I kind of had to like go and listen to it for myself, and I wish I had not done that because, yeah, not for me. just not for me. So yeah, that is probably Little Bird is probably the worst song on here. If I'm being honest, like between that and Beats on the Table, it's no. He does throw an R&B track on here called Don't Worry, and I don't like it. It's just I'm being honest. I don't like it, y'all. I don't know. It just feels like he's telling people not to worry about him, and then at the very end, he still says like, "I don't know, but what's been up with me?" And I'm like, Drake, you know what's up with you, bro. You just not doing the digging. You not really diving deep like you should have done in the first track, but you decided to choose violence, bro. And I mean, this is what you come up with. So I'm still at 4.5 songs. Firm Friends, obviously, he's talking about, being isolated and feels like certain friends have, I guess, betrayed him once again. This is more woe is me. This is like my friends betrayed me bars. He calls out his former friends for, I guess, who either stayed silent or quote unquote went to the other side.
Like, bro, like
At this point,
if
I'm
I
just
if I say something, I'm wrong on that. You know what I'm saying? If I say something on Kendrick's behalf, I'm wrong. If I say, hey, Drake is my nigga and Kendrick is my nigga, I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you did with J. Cole.
right.
Everybody else that stays silent, they the ones. Like if they stay silent, they the ones that's in trouble, except for the niggas from Atlanta. The niggas from Atlanta stayed silent the whole time.
The whole time, bro.
You didn't say you didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you don't have a problem with them, but you have a problem with everybody else that quote unquote stays silent.
Yeah, the only person from Atlanta that like really stuck by him, I guess, was 21 Savage.
21, yeah, because he was all like, if all of a sudden y'all waiting to dish this nigga, now y'all ain't. Like, and I agree with that. Like, all of a sudden, once Kendrick is kicking his back in, everybody else want to dish that nigga, and I thought that shit was lame.
Yeah,
I thought that shit was super lame, especially with Rick Ross. Rick Ross is the lamest nigga in the world to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I still don't know why they started beefing. Like, how did that start?
He did a song with French Montana. He didn't like the verse, so he didn't want the song to get released. French Montana was trying to release it anyway. Drake hit that nigga with a cease and desist. So now Rick Ross don't like Drake because of that.
Ah, okay, all right, that makes sense. Now I remember. Yeah, because it all had to do with French Montana. Okay.
Also, that's another grown man. Let him fight his own battle.
Yeah.
He got more to say about Drake than fucking French Montana.
So with that, I will give Firm Friends credit in one area. Once again, the production. Conductor Williams did his thing on this beat. Listen, I'm trying to be fair. I am trying to be fair. The last one, Make Them Know, I did kind of like Make Them Know a little bit. I will give him credit. This was probably like a good closer for him. I think that we finally get a little bit of truth out of Drake here, because at the end he says, like, what happened to Drake from 2009 when all of the moments was intimate. What happened to Drake with the innocence? I don't think we'll be seeing him again. And it's like, well, you finally tell the truth, bro, after a few years where we noticed that the old Drake wasn't there anymore, but now I think he's starting to acknowledge that he's not who he used to be. But at the same time, I think 2009 Drake, again, was hungry, was, just really coming into the rap game for real. And 2009 Drake should have stayed in his lane in certain aspects. Just a lot of things that I think that if Drake could look back on it now and change some things from when he debuted in 2009, one, for me, it'd be like not really necessarily stay in your lane, but more so take Wayne's advice and don't try to be anything but who you are. Forget, fuck what anybody else got to say. Fuck what the haters say. Just be you. Don't try to like do all this tough Tony talk. Just be who Aubrey Drake Graham is, and leave it at that. Don't fuck Wayne's girl. That's that. Don't fuck Tammy. Just find. There's another joint that will love on you, bro. Just do that. And then obviously, all the stuff that has happened to Drake throughout the years, in part because Drake is his own worst enemy. Um, I just feel like, yeah, we know Innocent Drake is not coming back, but if from a music standpoint, I do want that Drake back. I want him to be hungry again. I want him to have good, like great music again, not just good music, great music. Get me to, you know, get me to dance in the club again for real, for real. Get me to actually like enjoy a Drake song without having to like question, the I guess the motive behind it, or to question Drake as a person when he releases the song, and other things like that, man. So I'll give him a point for Make Them Know, because I think that, of course he still had distance within the track, but I do think that Drake was actually, for once, being honest. So I will say that that's 5.5 tracks out of
18.
18 that I've personally enjoyed. It's not a
But
pass grade, but
it's, it's less than a third.
yeah, it's less than a third. And I had said on the page, on the Chaotic Culture Pod page on Instagram, that this was, to me, this was like it's a college level C minus, which, looking back at it, 5.5 songs out of 18, that's not college level C minus. That's absolutely failing. But I still gave him the benefit of the doubt, because he's rapping, because he's talking his shit and getting shit off his chest. And I'm like, I can appreciate him doing that. And I can appreciate that, he tried to really, like, at least get his grievances out, because, as you had stated, school, like, dude, yeah, it might be a little too late, but he was still a part of the battle. He still had to at least let it be known what was on his mind and what was on his heart. But to make a full album full of diss tracks, bro, like, this is Blood in My Eye. And granted, Blood in My Eye by Ja Rule has some fire tracks on there, like Race Against Time. Race Against Time is probably the best track on there. And outside of maybe Clap Back, if you want to really get into it. And there's some other ones that's on Blood in My Eye too that I can't think of off the top of my head, but still, the entire album full of diss tracks, making an entire diss album, is just not the way to go. And as you said, he was probably trying to do what Future did with We Don't Trust You and We Don't Trust You Too. But, or excuse me, We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You. But still, it just for me, that doesn't work, because I liked We Don't Trust You, but I still said that there were too many songs that was taking shots. And We Still Don't Trust You, I didn't like at all. So it's a really hard thing to do, to make an album that is full of disses, attacking every one of your ops, and showing that you were still completely bothered by it. And it also doesn't help that Drake has had the woe is me bars, the victim bars, and then you try to play yourself out as not being a victim or a victor, or whatever you want to call it, in Firm Friends. But it's still just like, to me, it shows that there was no growth there. You're just getting out your grievances instead of looking inward and trying to figure out, like, yo, what happened to me? What where has things gone wrong? Where have things gone right? What can I do to move forward, move past, show some growth in who I am, instead of trying to make songs for people who are not in my age group anymore? How can I be more encompassing of those who started out with me all the way back in 2007? But that's just how I see it. Maybe, I don't know what his thought process is, but just for me, it just felt like, Drake, you just not really moving anymore, for real, for real. You just kind of stuck where you are, and I'm not seeing any willingness to move past or move forward from this. I'm hoping that after this album, you will be able to move forward from this, and I'm hoping that you desperately get on somebody's couch, so that way you can, like, actually discuss the things that are going on in your life, so that way you can actually grow as a person. Between seeing your parents getting older, dealing with your dad's remission, because we don't know if, because cancer is one of those demons that can come back. So I'm hoping that you're able to deal with that. I'm hoping that you're looking at your son and finding ways to, be a strong parent, because you will literally be 40 in October, bro. So I'm just, and I don't know, he ain't never gonna pay attention to this podcast, but if somebody out there happens to see this, just tell him that his old fans really just want him to drop great music without him being, the consistent victim and taking shots at everybody, man. Just be you and make fun music or make introspective music, bro. There's a reason why Nas can make multiple albums that don't necessarily sound the same, even if some of the subject matter might be similar. But the King's Disease series and the Magic series don't sound nothing alike.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but when it comes to Drake, I'm like, I can't tell the difference between Scorpion Certified Lover Boy for All the Dogs and this one.
Yeah.
And for practical purposes, Her Loss. There are some stuff where he tries to be, versatile, and a lot of people like to say that Drake is more versatile than Kendrick. But I also have to say, would you rather be a jack of all trades or a master of one? In this case, like in this case, Drake is a jack of all trades but a master of none. Meanwhile, Kendrick is over here perfecting his craft and the one thing that he knows that he's really, 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 really good at. But Kendrick is also a great song maker. On top of that, he makes timeless music. Drake used to have that ear, but the last few albums that I've been hearing are just, they don't stick to me. They might stick to somebody else, but it's not something that I will purposely go back to. As I've said, I don't want to return to this album. I've already listened to it twice. I think that's enough for me in this lifetime. So I'm never going to revisit Iceman again. That's just how I'm feeling.
Yeah, like I said, I don't feel like he makes music for himself. He makes music to keep up with whatever trends are going. And I also feel like, as big of an artist as he could be the trend. Like, just make the music you want to make, and he could be the trend. All in all, though, like you said, I'm not coming back to this. Same thing with Drake. Like, if I played Pandora and Drake's music randomly started shuffling on there, if you shuffled all his stuff together, I wouldn't know which song was from what album.
Right.
I've just gotten that lost in the sauce where I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
It's the same.
And I think that a fan of his, Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics, even said the same thing. He was just like, "Hey, bro, it's like some of this, it just feels like Drake is just throwing stuff at the wall and trying to see what sticks, and it's just putting songs together." People saying there's a lot of people say that there's not really a theme to this album. I'm like, well, the theme is to shoot at my ops, and that I'm cold blooded, but ultimately the songs don't sound like that.
Yeah.
So,
they don't sound cold blooded. It sound like you copping please.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and that's just me. I mean, but you'll get a bunch of niggas that saying that we hating or whatever, and it just is what it is. Music is subjective. That's all
it is.
Say. So
music is very subjective, and I promise y'all, we are not trying to sound like haters. I'm really not, man. It's just, I've always said that for me, Drake the person has turned out to be not a good person, but he can still make great music, and I would still probably jam to it if the music is good. I said that in my Some Sexy Songs for You review. Like, I don't want the the music to be trendy, and I don't want music to just be there. Like in this album, Drake just happens to be there. I just want it to be good. I just wanted to, make me feel something, whether I'm dancing or whether I'm actually like bobbing my head, and not just because of a beat. The beat selection on this album has been phenomenal, but as someone who intakes hip hop on a daily basis, I need more than just the beat. I need more than just the vibe. I need shit that's gonna make me feel something, like from a lyrical standpoint. And then of course there's other moves too. You got music that's gonna make you want to dance and whatnot, and I guess that's why Drake made those other albums. But when it comes to like the rapping shit, I want shit that if you're going to rap and if you're going to be introspective, I need you to do some deep diving and some, not just give me surface level bars. that I can figure out, or give me corny bars that just make me question, like, yo, why are we talking this? Like, give me something meaningful. That's all. That's all that I want, man. Just give me some more meaningful shit. And maybe Drake doesn't know how to do that again. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know how to do that anymore. But either way, it is what it is. Uh, as we said, but it's a 5.5 songs out of 18. That is not a good grade. But if I had to give this a score out of 10, I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna be generous because I gave some sexy songs to you like a 3 out of 10 if I remember correctly, or a 2.5. I can't remember. I'm gonna say this album is a 5, and I'm being extremely generous just because I don't want to sound like I'm hating. I gave it a higher score than Pitchfork. Pitchfork gave it a 4.8.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 4. That's just not for me.
Yeah,
And that's okay. That's just not.
it's okay. The album is for somebody, but it ain't for us.
Yeah, it just is what it is. I'm not gonna stress about it. That's all. I saw a bunch of people saying things. Leak, I fucking hate you, dog. I fucking hate Leak. But other than that,
Leak really said that this album was better than the Fall Off, bro. And Leak, I had asked if Leak wanted to hop on to this episode, and I hope he's listening, bro. But Leak, I gotta disagree with you, bro.
like, bro,
wholeheartedly.
the fall off disappointed me too on first listen. Going back to it and listening to it a lot more, because I'm a Cole fan. It's gotten better and stuff like that. It's still, like, I've seen some people go as far as to say it was his best album. That's a fucking lie too. But
No,
it's,
it's not
way
his best
better.
album. It's
It's
not.
way better than it was on that first listen. I've enjoyed it. Iceman is not. This is ridiculous.
No,
That's
I
ridiculous.
it's not good, y'all. It's not good. It's not. Again, I'm trying to be generous. It's not like it's not garbage. It's not super trash. Because I would forever tell you that my least favorite Drake album of all time is honestly Nevermind. I think that album is absolute garbage. And then For All the Dogs is right behind it. And then Certified Lover Boy is right behind it. This one is better than those 3 albums, but that's still not saying a lot.
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah. Well, I will, at least in the next episode, I will talk about whether I enjoyed Habibti and Maid of Honor. Again, Drake is not getting any of my streams because I don't want to waste my Spotify dollars on this. I am too busy listening to other hip hop artists at the moment, but I will listen to somebody else and see if they enjoy it, and if I enjoy it as well. There are some tracks on there that I'm like, okay, cool. But again, that Cheetah Prince song,
Yeah,
oh my God.
yeah.
Man,
I won't be doing it.
I'm so jealous of Sexy Red because how are you famous?
Bro, it's insane. And she's still making music and doing something. She's doing something that I ain't doing. So
Yeah, clearly, because if we could figure out the code, we would not be right here with a podcast mic, or maybe we would, but we would have more viewers.
yeah, bro, because that's crazy.
Anyway, y'all, that's just our thoughts on Iceman. It's just like I said, very, very mad, okay to not good, depending on your outlook. So maybe this album is for you. Maybe you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts. If you think that this was a great Drake album, or if it was just a Drake album. For me, again, this was just there. It's just here. It wasn't worth the hype, but I've learned when it comes to Drake to temper my expectations. So there's that. Do you have any final thoughts, Scuba Steve, before we get up out of here?
Nope, not at all.
All right. Sounds good. Now, if you do want some recommendations on hip hop artists that I think that you should listen to, for one, go listen to Bulldog by Kenny Mason. Oh my God, that is such a great album. Also, there's some other albums that other artists have dropped as well. I got a whole list here. Like if you Junkies in the Sun by Deontay Hitchcock, definitely listen to that album. That album is beautiful. Time Heals Everything by Blue and Exile. That is a great hip hop album. Semi Sims 3 by Buddy. Great album that dropped in April. It's Been Awful by Isaiah Rashad. Oh, that album has so much trauma behind it, bro. Isaiah Rashad has turned more into like a blues rapper than anything, but I think that I really like that about him. So if you have not listened to It's Been Awful, please be sure that you do that. If you want some more grimy shit, listen to 656 by Rock Marciano. That shit goes stupid. Um, for my boy in South Carolina, Nick Grant representing Walterboro, bro. It's the Smile. That album is great. Go listen to that. There is just like I said, I just listened to a whole lot of hip hop here. Uh, the Ruthless Records for Drop Tops, this one and this two by Wiz Khalifa and Currency. If you smoke, if you're a smoker, if you a weed head, these are some tracks for you. Disc one, I think, is more so like geared towards Wiz, and then this two is geared more towards Currency beats. So definitely take a listen to those if you haven't. Spiral Staircase by Larry June. Listen to that. Pompeii and Utility by Earl Sweatshirt and Mike. Great, great album. Go listen to it, y'all. Like there's hip hop out there for everybody. And I think that is all that I know that Lotto is going to be dropping her album in like 10 days. So I don't know if I'll be paying attention to Lotto, but I'll hear from the grapevine if it's a good album or not. Love is the New Gangster by Black or Six Lack is gonna be dropping in a few days as well. I will be tuned in for that one. So, yeah, it's a lot of good music coming out, man. That's why I hate when people are saying that hip hop has been dry this year and they needed Drake to come back. I'm like, no, just it's not that hip hop has been dry. It's that you just want mainstream. You want hip hop to be mainstream again.
Yeah, you can't afford Spotify and iTunes. Is what it sounds like to me.
Exactly.
You just waiting on the songs to come on the radio.
Exactly. You just waiting for the song to get popping or waiting for the song to play in the club. That's not how hip hop works, man. Like, no, there's so much great hip hop out there that you can listen to and that you can enjoy. Just find it. Or if you need me to be your plug, I got you. I got a whole website full of that's called the Hip Hop Golden Age or Golden Age Hip Hop. It gives me like recommendations on what I should listen to or who dropped a great project, whether it be somebody who is currently mainstream, someone who's not as mainstream but still well known, and even some artists that you may not have even heard of. Like, I'm listening. So just let me know. And then speaking of, I got to get one of my brothers who's a noob that does a hip hop podcast, man. Shout out to AJ and his podcast because he talks a lot of hip hop as well, and I definitely want to bring him on here. So that's all that I got for today. We got to do the rundown, guys, because again, we haven't been here in 2 weeks, so I got to make sure I do my shout outs and whatnot. Do you have any new businesses that you want to shout out, Scuba Steve, outside of Wake the Dead? Because you already know, read Wake the Dead.
Yes, sir. If we talking, well, no, I can't. I don't got nothing to share. I don't have no poster or nothing like that. But my new book, The Side Effects, is coming out in like a week.
All right. Yeah, y'all be sure that y'all be on the lookout for that. All right, so for our podcast shout outs, once again, shout out to Mob inside of Mind of a Bird. You already know both of us are on there. That is Steve's podcast. We talking big shit. I do have to do a Devil May Cry review again, like we did last year. I'm gonna try to see if I can bring Rob and Bo back. I will let y'all know right now if y'all listening to this podcast. Season 2, yeah. I'm just gonna say I didn't enjoy it as much as season 1, and for good reason. But I'll break that down when we get there. Big shout out to Mike Check Waifu as always. Shout out to the squad over there, Montel and Polo. All right, then we got the Dad Needs to Talk with Rob the Father of Vash. We got Geek Set Podcast. We got Anime Junkies Through Reason Podcast. Those Anime Girls, and of course BGE, aka Black Geek Energy, with Jardo and DeMarcus. For our Black authors, big shout out to K Renee, and of course big shout out to Elena Graham, aka Elena. For our Black content creators, Off Black Mag with Aaron. Big shout out to Service Entertainment. And for our streamers, of course, we got Tatapoodle, the Geeky Gamer, Shelby, What's Up with Janice, the Bacon Rolls Less Travels. Big shout out to Toasted Marshmallow, and of course, shout out to the Corner 5 with Simone, Courtney 5, Chris, and Sham. And big shout out, of course, to Yup, That's D, Carabits, and of course Cleopatra with the Chaotic Kingdom. And for business, as always, Scuba Steve and Alpha with BlerD9 Productions. For our black artists, of course, big shout out to NASA, Scoozy, goodness gracious, Jack Union, Phil.me, Ellis Quinn, RJ Stackhouse, Quarter, Tyrone Lee Jr., Ari Lachelle, Zach Hines and Fortresses, Elena again, Zainab, and Imogen. And for our black businesses, big shout out to Fresh Nurse Righteous Minds with Timo. Big shout out to Studio Maho with Pat and Yin. She Designs 2 with Aaron. Black Magic with Low and T. H4 Creative with Zenobia. Real Estate Stone by Meredith. So by Belmont Mariah. And Scrappy Sentiment with Sappy. All right, guys. That's all that we have for today. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Chaotic Culture Podcast on your favorite DSP. Please be sure that you subscribe to the podcast for early access to the podcast if you are subscribing to the Patreon there to get this episode early and to get all episodes early as well. We're also going to try to do some more bonus content but I'm kind of in the middle of a move, so we haven't been able to really post much of anything on the Patreon. It's looking a little dry. We will change that. We will be making some changes here soon. Just got to get into a stable spot, guys. That's really all it is. But anyway, you can follow us on all of the social medias. Of course, you can follow the Chaotic Culture Podcast on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter/X at Chaotic Culture 1. You can follow us on Blue Sky at chaoticculture.bsky.social. And you can follow us everywhere else. That includes Threads, Instagram, and TikTok at Chaotic Culture Pod. You can follow me, Ked the Pro. That's K3D the Pro on all social media. Of course, you can follow Scuba Steve at Scuba Steve 1428 on all social media. And of course, you can follow Law on Instagram at L.JR_96. And you can also follow Law on Twitter at Law96_. And of course, you can follow Sappy on all social media at Scraps14. And this has been another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. So until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture, chaos rules, be blessed, be safe, God is love, and we are out of here. Deuces. Gotta throw the air horn in there before we get up out of here. You already know.
So what's the word?
You are now tuned in to the Chaotic Culture Podcast. And